This is the English Literature Web YouTube channel. I am Prof.L.B.Gayakawad is discussing today on the topic Types of Interview, lecture 275. This is the part 5th. The number of the interview is 22nd. The mock interview. The title is the mock interview. It is the practice test for the next interview and to get feedback. Remember, the mock test means the practice test, because mocking is the practice, means it is the beginning of the next interview, and that's why this interview is called the mock interview. Here you will get the best feedback from the mock test interviewers called a career coach, a counselor, or a university career office, etc. So remember, here the candidate will get the particular feedback from the career coach, means the career coach will give that feedback, or the counselor will be there, he will give there the feedback, or the university career office will give that feedback. 23rd is offsite interviews. The employers schedule sometimes the interviews in public place like a coffee shop, etc. Means here the employers schedule sometimes the interviews, means there are the hiring manager, suppose, or the owner of the company or the employers. They schedule sometimes the interviews, means they put the timetable of the interviews in a public place, means these interviews are invited in the public place, like a coffee shop, means suppose there is the coffee shop, and in the coffee shop or in the hotel such type of interviews are managed. Their purpose is not to make known to the employees about the possibility of a new job. Remember, here the purpose of such interviews is not to make known to the employees about the possibility of a new job, but they expect that the off-site interview anyhow should be attended, means the main purpose of the interviewers behind this interview is that anyhow, means at any condition, this interview should be attended by the candidates. Then we are coming to the 24th interview. The title is On the Spot Interview. On the spot interview needs to be taken, means we should take, or the employer or the owner or the hiring manager should take such type of interviews. You are asked here to attend the interview in a right way. So remember, there is a suggestion to the candidate that the candidate should attend this interview very systematically. This interview is open for all the candidates on the specific date. It means that the specific date is given to the candidates, and on that specific or particular, or I will say the basic date, the candidates are invited to attend the meeting. These interviews are attended on the spot time, that is immediately, and they take sudden decision on who will be included or who will not be included in the next recruiting process. So remember, here these interviews are attended on the spot time, means on the time, exact time, these interviews are attended by the candidates, that is immediately the interviews are attended, and the interviewers take the decision on the particular selection of the candidate, it means that who will be selected or who will not be selected, that is the I will say declaration by the interviewers on the same spot, and that's why this interview is known as the spot interview. Now, 25th interview is restaurant interviews. This interview is taken in the restaurant, means in the hotel, to test the social skill of the of the employee, and also to test the candidate if he works under pressure or not. Remember here, this interview is taken in the restaurant or in the hotel, and here the interviewers uh, test the social skill of the employee, that is the candidate, and also they test if this candidate is fearing of them or if he comes under the pressure or not. Means here they see the endurance, or they see here the capabilities, or I will say the abilities of the particular candidate. You should prepare your table manners best, means when this candidate will be in front of the interviewers, he should make his behavior, manners, cultures, everything very systematically, because they will observe his everything and they will point out all these things, and it may be possible that he will be failed there if he shows his wrong manners. Choose good food and uh, think on wearing the clothes properly. Means here, remember, he should wear the best clothes and he should select the good food and drink there. Now, the type of the interview is the structured interview. It is 26th. This interview is taken when the employee wants to assess and compare the employee with candidates and without partiality. It means that this interview is called when the employee wants to assess and compare the employee with candidates without partiality, means there is no any kind of partiality, and in such situation this structured interview is taken. The structured interview, it means that it has the particular structure or it is based on the particular structure. The interviewer asks the similar questions to all candidates here regarding the specific skills and experience. The employer drafts the interview questions focusing on the abilities wanted by the company. So remember here, the specific skills, experience, all these things are tested there. The employer drops here the interview questions and he focuses on the abilities which are wanted by the company or which are expected by the hiring manager. Now, 27th interview is the unstructured job interview. Here the questions are changed on the responses of the candidates, means the responses from the candidates are received, are taken, and the questions are changed here. These interviews are less intimidating than formal interviews. It means that these interviews are less informing, or it is the interview which gives less information in comparison with the formal interview, as because the different questions are asked here. Means there are the various questions which are asked to the candidates. This method is not always believable, means this is not the trusted method, or this interview type is not so trusted. And now the last type of the interview is the selection interview, that is 28 number. This interview purpose means the purpose of this interview is to select a candidate, means this is the last type of the interview, and in this interview the candidate is to the rank of his selection or her selection, means he or she can be selected here, and that's why this interview is called a selection interview. It is more harder than a screening interview. Remember, the screening interview is easy in comparison with this interview. They do more scrutiny here for the perfect selection. Remember, the more scrutiny is done here, the more analysis of the candidates is done here, and that's why this is also the serious interview for the candidates. The company looks for the ability of the candidate here, then the qualification of the candidate is observed here, then the culture of the candidate is also observed here, then impressive character of the candidate is also observed here, and the questions are more specific with more detailed answers. So here we have finished the lecture number 275, types of interviews. Again we will come in front of each other with a new topic. Till then, thank you very much.